Okay, so I've got a nice power system in this Land Cruiser. It's a battery monitor. We've drained the batteries quite low today. The fridge, center fridge, fridge 2. Center fridge is there in the front. I've got fridge 1 and 2 here at the back. I've got a 12 volt DC light plug, which is this one. That has a dimmer function for the LED lights that we built for him, that plugs in here and attaches magnetically around the car. 12 volt DC plugs. So all the other plugs, including the USBs that we have here. 12 volt auxiliary is for the pump, and then you have your panel lights, which is your backlighting for the night. For battery monitor, charge meter that's running from mains, the vehicle, or solar, or all of them. If you have your load meter, you can see the fridge running there. So it is these DC load running here on these switches is measured there. Then you have your inverter, which is a 2500 watt inverter. We can do a 3200 watt these days. It's not a problem. So I'm going to start the vehicle so you can see the charging from the vehicle. You see there's another fridge starting on the load. So I'm going to start it. So as I mentioned, we have a battery monitor. There's your charging current running at around 60 amps, which is quite fast charging for these Land Cruisers. You will see it will come down eventually, and then the booster will kick in a few minutes. So as I mentioned, we have the switches. 12 volt DC power is your main switch for all these. You will now see as well that the engine is running. You cannot switch off this fridge. The client requested that this fridge stay on when the engine is running. That's the fridge in the center console position. So there's your main power, there's your fridge 1 and 2. Okay. The 12 volt light plug with a dimmer. The 12 volt plugs, which are all the other plugs, including this USB. The QC3 and the Type C. Your 12 volt auxiliary is your pump at the front, and then your panel lights, as I mentioned, gives you nice backlighting in the evening. You have your earth leakage systems here for your mains and your inverter. Your power source for this two 30 volt plugs is either selected by the inverter or the mains. So if you do have shore power and plugged in, you can switch it to the top. Then these plugs will work from that. If you are camping off grid and you use the inverter, you switch it down and all your plugs will run from the inverter. Okay, there's your breaker for these plugs, and then your battery charger, which is situated in that box there with the 220 volt plugs in. So as you can see, we've reduced the current now to around 55 amps. And within a minute or two, this system will measure the battery voltage so in a minute or two, as the main battery gets fully charged as well, we can increase this current, which we call the booster. It takes a few minutes before it will kick in, as it will increase the current to your auxiliary batteries and your trailer, etc. So we have 4 batteries in the system. There's 3 lithiums at the back. It's 354 amp hour lithiums. There's an auxiliary battery in the front, which is the help start battery. We use a bit of current from the lithiums to start the engine with the overflow system. Now lithiums itself cannot start a Land Cruiser engine easily, so we've added that function with the lead acid battery to help start there in the front. We send about 300 amps from these lithium batteries to the engine when necessary. Normal overflow conditions, when starting each day, you would have seen when we started this engine it goes to the negative, so there's about 60 amps to 100 amps with each charge that the lithium supports the main battery. These plugs here are 50 amp rated for a high lift jack equipment that works electrically, air compressors, etc. that's portable. It can also be a charge point that the client can use for another battery here if he wants to. Portable battery box, etc. can plug in here. So we should be close now to seeing this current from 50 amp jump up as the booster will kick in now. Okay, let's watch it quickly and wait for it. I'll give you more information about the system. So it is capable of going just over 60 amps. Your alternator is rated at about 90 to 120 on some of these vehicles. You get a good fast charging current from it. There it goes. There it goes. It's back to 60 amps. See, now the booster is giving all the power back to these lithium batteries. So 60 amp charge is very nice. So if we switch on the inverter, yes, the inverter is now on. So now these plugs are active and we can use it with a hair dryer, a coffee machine, microwave. Some people have ice machines, ice makers, bread bakers, etc. So this is a neat charging current to run these batteries. So in the front here, what we've done, we have this monitor, which is your charging activation. If you switch it on, the system will first recognize if the alternator is running before it will start charging. The monitor, MON, is just a display, so it doesn't have any effect on the charging, and that switches your main battery or auxiliary selection. So you can see between the two batteries, the engine battery, the main battery there, and the lithium batteries here. Okay. There's a little switch there at the back that you can press. If you press it in, it connects all the batteries to the starter, so you can start your engine from all the auxiliary batteries installed in this car. Okay.